something that I'm believing in, and I mean, the vision that's set forward, I said, you don't have to say anything else, man. I'm on board. I mean, that's my brother. We grew up together. We've been through enough. Hey, if he saw something, he saw the vision, I came on board, I saw it, let's run with it. Let's go.
A lot of people are grown adults who are babies. They don't want no personal responsibility. They don't want to be held accountable for what they said they want. They don't want to be uncomfortable and have to elevate. They don't want to. Who got a baby? Education will teach you. We'll raise your belief level. We'll teach you how it works. Before you get to spend $1, you just got to come and get the information and then make a common sense decision.
You out there, you gotta pray. Lead me to the right people.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Happy Monday. Hope y'all having an amazing, amazing morning. Go ahead, keep dropping your I'm so happy and grateful nows in the chat. Definitely want to continue to see those, see what you guys are so happy and grateful for this morning. Let me go ahead and start reading through some of these, and then we'll go ahead and hop right into the actual call. All right, there we go. All right, we got, I'm so happy and grateful that I am a chairwoman 25 by November 1st, 2020. I'm so happy and grateful for God blessing me with a new path and showing others this wonderful path, for my family, including my retired and 365 family, for having an amazing bike ride today in the force of Mother Nature. Let me actually, there we go, perfect. So happy and grateful now that I have the ability to acquire financial freedom and change the lives of the people closest and dearest to me. So happy and grateful now that I live a life of pure positive energy and thought, thus becoming a beacon of hope and love. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have changed my perspective of the things that matter most to me, and that I have acquired a love and caring respect for all new beginnings and all new chapters in this book called life. All praises due to the Most High. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm able to live financially free, retire my family, and to live a life of abundance. I'm so happy and grateful now for life. So happy and grateful now for a new week filled with opportunities and blessings. I'm so happy and grateful now for my family. So happy and grateful now for a life-changing opportunity. Shout out to Mr. Christopher Terry and the leadership team. I'm so happy and grateful now for my new life that's loading and the wisdom that I'm exposed to in this fellowship. I'm so happy and grateful now for tapping into my fears. I'm grateful now for the awesome leaders here on this platform and the like-minded people, for God waking me up this morning safe from all hurt, harm, and danger, seen and unseen. I'm so happy and grateful now to be financially free, that this life I'm surrounded by love, and that I'm here to live and conquer another day. I'm so happy and grateful now for this group and financial freedom, for the retired and 365 family, for the divine guidance is taking place at all times. I'm so happy and grateful now for this opportunity to help serve the people. So happy and grateful now that I have the knowledge and abilities to change my life and the lives of others through this opportunity. Shout out every single one of y'all. Drop some fire emojis in the chat for your I'm so happy and grateful nows. Like we keep talking about, each and every single call, they get better and better and better. So I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time out to say what you're so happy and grateful for each and every single day, because that's really what's going to get us to that next level, operating from an attitude of gratitude. All right. So let's go ahead and hop into this thing. Again, my name is Javon Hutchison, aka Mr. Healthy Pips, your favorite track star. And we're about to talk and have a conversation about seeing through the eyes of an athlete, right? And specifically in seeing through the eyes of an athlete, we're going to talk about a little bit of something like a marathon, right? Because again, for those that know, I'm a track athlete. And when we talk about racing, right? When you talk about races, let's talk about seeing through the eyes of that person, right? So in a sprint, right? And this is going to be interactive. I would love for you guys to chime in as we're going along. But let's say you're in a sprint. If I'm fast, if I'm naturally fast, wherever I'm from, I just have it, right? There are going to be some things that I don't do right? I'm not going to have perfect form. I might just be naturally gifted in that thing, right? But if I go out there and let's say I'm running the 100-meter dash or the 40, right? If I have bad form, because I'm naturally gifted in this, because I'm just fast, what's going to happen? I'm not worried about that bad form. Now, I want to correct it to get faster, right? But it's not going to take a toll on my body as much as if I was doing a long race, right? Me doing that sprint, I can muscle through the bad form. I can muscle through the things that are holding me back because the race is so short, right? But if I'm going to run a marathon, if I'm going to run a long distance race, what's going to happen? That same bad form, you leaning into the things that aren't good for you, they're going to compound, right? That compound effect works for the good and it works for the bad. So if I'm leaning into the thing that's not good for me, the bad form, the bad habits, it's going to destroy my entire run. Now, why is that? Because if I'm leaning into those bad habits, over time, I'm going to start to feel it, right? My arms are going to start to hurt. My legs are going to start to hurt. My breathing is going to be off, right? In that short race, I could feel the effects, but again, I muscle through it. In that long race, though, over time, it's going to slowly wear my body down. And I'm not going to be able to have the amazing type of results that I had in that short race because they've compounded. They've taken me off course from what it is that I was destined to do. So let's think about that as we go throughout the day. Let me get my notes together. But I want to talk about something I mentioned last night, guts, right? It takes just as much guts, just as much effort, just as much strength, let's use the word strength, for you to back off as it does for you to push hard. Let me say that again. It takes just as much strength for you to know when to back off as it does for you to know when it is time to go hard, right? Drop some ones in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, right? Because like I talked about earlier last night, guts aren't about how hard you push. Your strength isn't about I can go hard the whole time, all the time. Think about a sprinter trying to run a long distance race, running their fastest. Think about Usain Bolt going out there breaking the world record the first 100. He's not going to be able to hold that pace for an entire marathon. It's too long. It's too long. You have to control your pace. There's going to be times where you're going to need to pick it up. There's going to be times when you need to slow it down. But you got to recognize those times. You also got to recognize those distances in training, right? So that strength, those guts, it comes down to faith. Like I said yesterday, guts comes down to faith. Your faith comes down to trusting in your training, and your training comes down to having faith in yourself, right? And that all starts with honesty. You got to be honest with yourself about what you're doing, what you're going through, right? To get you to that next level. Now, how does that apply to us here in the business, right? Run the play, 72-hour fast start to success. This isn't an all-out sprint, but at the same time, we're steadily going each and every single day. But what happens if you don't do the right things in the beginning? Halfway through that race, you're now struggling. You're wondering why it's not working. You're wondering why you aren't where you want to be in whatever race you started. Because if you don't start the race off the right way, it's going to be hard. I just gave the example of Usain Bolt taking a sprint the first 100 meters of a marathon. He started the wrong way. So he's not going to be where he wants to be halfway through that race. He's going to be gassed. It's not going to feel good. You're not going to feel good just because you went hard. Go hard and make sure the effort that you're putting in is directed in the right place. When we say run the play, run the whole play, and nothing but the play, that's exactly what we mean. Go hard, but do it towards specific actions. I want to be a great trader, but I also want to be here 18 months from now. Awesome. Run the play. Build your list. Go through that list, right? That's what's going to help you be here. That's what's going to help you be profitable. That's what's going to help you develop and accomplish your 5 reasons why, right? When you skip steps, you skip your success. Let me say that again. Let me rephrase it. When you skip steps, you jeopardize your success. You jeopardize your reasons why. If you went into the race wanting to run a certain time, but you don't run the right way, you jeopardize that time that you were trying to hit, right? A lot of times we're scared to admit that we have weaknesses. A lot of times we're scared to admit that we have weaknesses. But there's sometimes, and I think more than often, the opposite, especially in this business, we are scared to admit that we have what it takes. Sometimes we're scared to admit our weakness. That's cool. But even more, how many of you, drop a 2 in the chat if you've ever been scared to admit when you're strong? Let me show you what that looks like. You can be at Platinum 150 tonight, but you didn't pick up the phone. You can be at Platinum 1000 tonight, but you're scared to call that person that you know can blow your business out the water. You got a goal to hit a certain number, but you're doing everything but the thing that it takes to get that goal. Instead of listening to Conceive, Believe, Achieve, you listening to the new WAP song. Instead of listening to Conceive, Believe, Achieve, you watching TV. Instead of watching the training on Go Live, you're over here scrolling down Instagram. Instead of going through the beginner setup and showing up to the call, right? Somebody watching this on replay, instead of being on the call, not if you're working, this ain't for you, but instead of you being on the call, you watch the replay because you decided, man, I'll catch it later, right? Be where you qualify to be. If you qualify to be there, you have the ability to be there, and you said, this is the thing that's going to change my life, then make the decision to run the whole play, right? Let me put it this way. A lot of times we're scared to make that decision because we don't know our fears. You got to actually go out there. When we talk about writing, you actually have to write down not only the things that you want to do, not only where you want to be, but you also got to identify what are the things that are going to hold me back. What are the things that are going to hold me back? Because if I know what's going to hold me back, we talked about this on an earlier call that I did. If I know the hurdle ahead of time, I can prepare for that hurdle. I wish I had it up. This would have been good. But again, keeping it on track with athletics, right? If I'm running my race and I'm running the 100-meter dash, I'm not worried about anything being in my lane. I can run with my eyes closed and know that I'm going to finish this race because there should be nothing in my lane. But if I know I'm running the 110 hurdles, I expect there to be hurdles in my way. So I plan for those hurdles and I clear them effortlessly. I practice to clear them. But if I've never trained a day in my life for the hurdles or for the steeplechase, and I'm running and suddenly there's an obstacle in the way, I'm going to fall because I didn't plan for it. I didn't prepare for it. So now my form's messed up. So now I'm not doing things the right way because I didn't anticipate what was going to be there. You have the opportunity and you have the mentorship to anticipate any and everything that can happen inside of your business, inside of your trade account. But you got to identify what are those things that's going to hold me back. And then you got to overcome it, right? Whatever it is, I don't care what you're training for. I don't care what you're doing. There's going to be part of that process that you don't like. And that's okay. Because that training is going to get you where you want to go at the end. We talked about the GPS a while ago too, right? That training is going to get you where you want to go. How does that work? Think about it. You're at your job. You don't like all aspects of that job, but there's some things that you got to do because you know if you don't show up at a certain time, if you don't complete an assignment at a certain time, if you don't write this report up the right way, you're going to get fired. Over here is the same thing. If you don't run the play, the whole play, and nothing but the play, and identify the things that might prevent you from running that play and overcome them, you're not going to get to where you want to be. In athletics, I told some of you before, my coach used to say, keep a running log. Write how you feel. Write what's going on. For a while, I was like, why? For what? Right? One of my coaches told me that in high school. I finally listened to one of my coaches that told me that in college, but it made a world of a difference once I started doing it. But that same thing holds true in life. We got a whole daily method of operations. How many of you filled out the daily method of operations? Drop a 5 in the chat if you want to go chairman on this call right here. Drop a 5 in the chat for my people that's going chairman, right? Now, out of all those people that dropped 5, drop a 6 in the chat if you filled out your daily method of operation yesterday and sent it to your sponsor, right? That log is going to be the thing that helps get you to that next level. Why? Because what you track grows, right? When I track what I'm doing on the track, guess what? It's going to help me because I know why my hamstring's hurting. I know why my shoulder feels some type of way, right? I know that something that I did inside of this training platform allowed me to feel the way I'm feeling right now. And when I performed either the way I wanted to or I didn't want to, I can go back to that log and see what needs to be fixed in order to get me where I want to go. That same thing applies in the business, right? If you're not tracking what you're doing, how can you go back and say what needs to be fixed, what needs to be changed inside of what I'm doing? Otherwise, I'm just doing work. If I don't know if the work I'm doing is productive, this goes back to the first thing I said, right? If I'm doing something consistently over and over and over, if I'm not sure if that's the correct action, if that's income producing activity, then I'm just working. And that work is not profitable. Same thing in your trade account, right? Keep track of the trades that you're taking. Why? So you know what trades went well, what trades didn't go well, right? And then you can also identify now, hey, what did I do wrong here so I don't do it wrong again? The trades I lose, I know exactly why I lost them. So now it's just up to me to get over the things that caused me to lose those trades and to make the decision not to do that again, right? Because I know what happened. I marked on my chart where I entered, where I exited. I should have moved my stop loss right there. Like I technically won that trade if I would have followed my rules, but I didn't follow my rules, right? But if I know that, I'm not going to switch up how I trade because I had a winning strategy, right? I just got to develop me. But if you don't know why you lost, you're going to jump from this strategy to this strategy to that strategy. I heard this educator over there is real good. When in the first place, the things you had already worked, but you didn't know it worked because you didn't work. You didn't do the right things to get you to that next level, right? I want to say this. Your log, whatever you're tracking in your activity, in athletics, in your trade account, in your business, that's your story, right? Your story is your log. You're telling your story every single day. You're writing your book right now. I saw a good post, and I'm not even gonna do it right now. I can't remember what it said, but it said something along the lines of, if you could tell your 18-year-old self one thing In 3 words, what would you say? Let me ask you, Season, right now. If you had 3 words to tell your 18-year-old self, what would you say to yourself? Drop it in the chat. Let me see what some of y'all would say. 3 words. And if you're already 18 on this chat, just go back 3 years. What would you tell yourself? It worked out. Keep going. Hang out less. I won't stop. Call it Uber. Intense focus now. Everything will be okay. That's 4 words, but that's cool. Be confident. Just do it. Hey, look, this is what I said. Buy Bitcoin now. Buy Bitcoin now. That's what I would tell myself. Buy Bitcoin now, sir. Or Ripple, whatever, right? But look at this. You know why I like that? You know why I like that post? Because you have that opportunity right now. You have that opportunity right now. Not to talk to your 18-year-old self. You have the opportunity to talk to yourself right now and tell yourself right now, it's worth it. Follow directions. Take the risk. Just do it. Be confident. Everything will be okay. Intense focus now. It worked out. You have that opportunity right now. So the same thing you would tell your 18-year-old self, tell that to yourself right now. Because you're in the right place right now. As Charles says, you're in the right place ahead of time. Take massive action. Get more organized. But don't wait until it worked out for everybody else, but it didn't work out for you. Do it right now. So in 2 years, you're looking back saying, I'm glad I took action now. I'm glad I believed bigger, faster. I'm glad I followed directions. I'm so happy and grateful now that I was confident. Right? Don't go 90 days from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, and look back and say, I wish I. Say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I. Right? That's powerful. You have the ability to talk to you now to plan for what you're going to say in your future. Don't make the same mistake that you made at 18, right? You shouldn't have to experience those same lessons, go through the same things that you went through then, now, because of the same mentality that you have. If you have the same mentality now that you had last year, that you had 2 years ago, that you had 10 years ago, ask yourself, why am I not growing? Sit down and have a conversation, but then get to work. Because that's really, at the end of the day, all it is. It's about that work. It's about putting yourself out there and putting the work in each and every single day, right? So let me say this. Since I have the ability to set whatever goal I want, tell myself whatever I want, and go out there and act on it, why would I rely on somebody else to set my goals and to set my ceiling, right? I can't control how others feel. I can't control what others think. I can't control what others say, right? But I can control me. So when you're on the phone, when you're having these conversations, when you're looking at your trade account, I can't control the market, but I can control me. I can't control if that person says yes or no, but I can control how many people I talk to, right? There's a lot of things that you can control that you have complete 100% control over of, but we don't choose to look at it that way. If I'm not at whatever rank, it's not because everybody said no. It's because I didn't keep going until I found the people that said yes. Shout out to one of my guys, Edo Siebeden, right? Went to college together. He went viral in the track community just a few days ago, right? I think it was last week. He put up a post from his high school times all the way through now as a professional athlete. He said, I never won a national championship. I never made it to All-American status in an individual event. I never, did a lot of the things that a lot of these people did, right? But I kept going. He didn't have one of the top times nationally back then, right? But every single year, his time got faster. Every single year. Every single year. Just this past year, went out, ran one of the fastest times in the world. I think he's ranked second right now. 144. Shout out to my man Edos, right? But that applies everywhere, right? There's so many people with that same story, and that can be your story. You got to make the decision to not stop. Right, Charles? Stop saying it's not working. It just hasn't worked yet. But the only way it's not going to work is if you stop. The moment you stop is the moment it didn't work. The moment you stop is the moment it didn't work. So if you got to provision yourself. What did Garrett say in the audio? If you're trying to learn how to trade in 30 days, you're not going to be a trader. You got to position yourself to be here 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 12 months from now, 2 years from now, right? If the next 24 months, your life is completely different. I look at Paris Simmons. I look at Charles Dyson, right? I know we say 365 days. Yeah, you can put yourself in a position to retire 365 days. But where are you going to be 2 years from now? 3 years from now? Look where they are now compared to where they started. Again, Paris Simmons, King Eze, Charles Dyson, Bryce Thompson, right? Alex Morton, all those people, David Imonitie. Imagine if they would have only gave themselves 30 days, 60 days. Bryce said, I went from living at the bottom to the top penthouse suites in Beverly Hills, right? The bottom of the hill to the top of the hill in 2 years. Took David 4 years so he saw success. Number one African-American income earner in the world. If you fall halfway, a quarter of the way short of that, you still making $250,000 a month. 4 years from now, right? And he did that before I am. That's the crazy thing. So, figure out what your passions are, right? And figure out how those complement or don't complement what it is that you want, right? Figure out what you're passionate about. Figure out the things that you like to do, the things that you don't like to do, and ask yourself, do these things complement or do they go against what it is that I want? What needs to take a back burner right now? And what do I need to give my full effort to? Do I need to cancel Netflix? Do I need to cancel my cable? Do I need to whatever it is, right? Because the people around you can hold you back too. That's the thing. It was in Cash Cow, Holton Bugs was talking about he had to give up golfing. He used to walk around with the golf clubs on his back and things like that. And then he said one day he had to give it up. He had to pay for that. But he gave it up for a period of time to be golfing in other countries at some of the top resorts around in the world. Are you willing? What are some of the things that's hard for you guys to give up? Type them in the chat. What are some of the things that you always fall back to that you just have to spend money on, that you have to go do at this time, that's keeping you back from that chairman, that's keeping you back from that 6-7 figure trade account, right? If that's your goal, right? If your goal is an extra $1,000 a month, cool, right? It's not for you. Keep going, right? Keep going, but that's your goal. I'm talking to people with big dreams, big goals. You got big dreams and big goals. There's some things you're going to have to give up. Not forever. Not forever. For now. And again, the athlete mindset. I did an Instagram live on this last week, the other day. Think about it like this. A lot of people put themselves in position where they say, I don't have time, I don't have the resources, they focus on all the things that they don't have, right? And I want you to think about it like this. The way you look at those top Division I athletes, right? I want you to really understand what they have to go through. Any athlete that got a scholarship to go to school, think about it like this. The regular average person in school has to pay every single year for that until they get that degree, whether or not they ever get it, right? Let's just use my school, for example. It was, at the time, it was $30,000 a year, right? If I had not received a scholarship, and everybody at the school at the time that did not have a scholarship had to pay $30,000 a year, right? So that means whether they had to pay it out of their pocket, their parents had it, student loans, other types of scholarships, whatever it was, that's how you were able to go to school, right? Now, for the athlete that had a scholarship, you know what? You know what's unique about that? Yes, it's amazing. People pray. Yes, you're lucky. You're blessed. All that other stuff, cool. But what you don't understand is that that athlete also not only has to do the same thing that you have to do to go to school. What else do they have to do? They got to wake up at 6 a.m. and do weights before their 8 a.m. class. They got to find time to get breakfast before their next class, right? They haven't even had a time to change yet. Now they got to go back, get a shower, take care of themselves, maybe get a little quick nap in, all before going back to a second practice in the afternoon, before having to do homework and other mandatory things that everybody else has to do inside the school, right? So that same day that you had, they had, but they had some extra things to do inside that day. You got to sleep in before the 8 a.m. class. You got to put your class at 10 a.m. because you didn't have to worry about practice. You didn't have to put all your classes on Monday through Wednesday, Monday through Thursday, because you were worried about leaving for a competition, right? You didn't have to negotiate and study the class that you already been missing and take that test a day early because you were leaving to go for a 3-day competition, right? Not to say that all athletes have it easy, but you just got to understand that to get that scholarship that they had to put that time in. There were things that they had to sacrifice in order to get paid to get that free education, right? Student and athlete. They say student first, athlete second. They the same. They at the same level. Because without the athlete, many of those people wouldn't be students, right? Same concept here. Same concept here. Student investor, right? I am an investor, but I am also a network marketer. Why? Because many of you wouldn't be here without the opportunity to get your tuition free. Many of you wouldn't be here without the opportunity to tell somebody else about it, right? So you telling somebody else about it takes care of the thing over here that you really want to get to. It also funds it. But it's going to take some extra time. It's going to take some extra hours. It's going to take you doing things that you normally don't do. But guess what? It'll pay you like nothing else can. It'll put you in networks and in positions that you won't get over here on the trade side. On the trade side, it's cool. But guess what? There's no network for the traders, right? There's a network, but who are you networking with if you just over here at home by yourself, just trading? You're not talking to nobody. You're not on no calls. You're not developing your mindset over here. But over here, you helping other people get to that same success. Hey, one of the educators, Matty Pitts, right? Matthew Thayer on the HFX channel. He put it this way. Like I watch a few different people. I love to take gems where I can. He said, I probably would not have had the record that I had in trading during the time that I did had I not been on Go Live. Because me being on Go Live, I know that I have thousands of people around the world trade account in my hands. So the fact that I'm helping you all make money allowed me to be a better trader. Yes, there's gonna be some days that we lose. Yes, there's gonna be some days that we win, right? And trust me, I got gems from all the educators. Like, watch the educators on Go Live. They will give you some stories. But because of the people that he helped, that's what allowed him to elevate as a trader. Charles said it last night. Every educator on this platform is trying to build this business, right? Because the more people that you help, the better that you get. The more people that you help, the better that you get, and the more you're going to help yourself, right? That's at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So, back to the scholarship. To be that scholarship student, to be that person that's going to last throughout this business, to have that longevity to run the marathon, you got to run the whole play, right? Running the whole play is not only your 5 reasons why, it's not only getting set up to trade, it's helping the next person. Step 3 on that run the play checklist is helping somebody else. And how are you helping them? Just by telling them what you do. Just by telling them what you do, you're helping somebody else. And that is going to help you get to where you want to be, to get the results you want to get. Instead of it taking 6 months, it might take you 30 days. You might hit your income goal before you ever take a trade. If you run the play the right way, you can be making money before you even get approved by Hugo's Way or traders or whatever broker you use. You can be making money before you even get approved by running the play. So that's all I got for you guys today. Don't try to do it all by yourself, right? We're condensing time. We're taking what would normally take you 40 years of work. We're putting this all inside this 365-day block, right? 365-day block. It's up to you to make it work. We've proven over and over and over and over and over again that it works. For every person that says it doesn't work, a new person joins the business tomorrow, hits Platinum 1000, and says, I don't know what y'all talking about, this thing worked. Every time somebody says it doesn't work, we go get somebody else and says, nah, it works. I went and got my notebook. I went and got my calendar. I wrote my goals out. I picked up the phone and it worked. So every time you think it doesn't work, look at one of those chairman flyers that's dropping. Look at whatever. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Let's go ahead and get started. We got it for the week. Y'all already know what's going on. We got 100 brand new Platinum 150s about to drop this week inside the organization. We already got people hitting. We already got people joining. So shout out to all of y'all for already hitting the ground running. Platinum 150 is 3 people. That's it. Helping 3 people learn the information that you already have access to. Always ask yourself this: how many people in my life do not know how to make money from their cell phone? I showed my mom last night. We went into the MetaTrader, did everything. She's like, oh, that's it. Just by you clicking a few buttons, your life can change. You already clicking the buttons anyway in Instagram and Snapchat and whatever other apps y'all using these days. Put that money put those same actions towards something that can pay you like nothing else can. All right. So 100 brand new Platinum 150s this week by Saturday. We got our Mansion Mastermind coming up in 2 weeks. Make sure you are there. Platinum 2000 by August 17th. We are running with you, helping you get to that goal. Utilize the team chats. We, again, are here for you and everything that you need. And last but not least, we got 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock today. 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock today. Make sure you go ahead and invite your prospects out. Let them hear about this information firsthand from the people that know what they're talking about, right? At 2 o'clock, we got myself. At 8 o'clock, we got Mr. Paris Simmons, Chairman 10 inside the organization. So go ahead, make sure that you send those links out. It's going to be on 50 chairman traders believebigger.com, 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead, make sure everybody, we pack those calls out. And then 9 o'clock, we got our Believe Bigger Faster call, right? All links will be posted in the Discord chat. Make sure you guys are plugged into the paid members group. Get your new members added. We'll see you guys at the top.